But yo, okay, Isaiah's being a little bit funky with the button. So guys, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Go ahead and put your camera on, family. Let's get into practice. It's a family call. If you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable, put the camera on. Because if you're feeling uncomfortable, it's good. Do the stuff that gets you uncomfortable every single day. Unless you're in the bathroom or doing something that you shouldn't be doing, put the cameras on, okay? Put the cameras on so I know that, hey, you're fully in, you're locked in, and loaded in your attention, right? So let's go ahead and put some cameras on and literally kick this off, right? So the topic of today is the secrets of the money player. And I was actually on this training about a week ago from a Chairman 25, and it was a very, very powerful training. It was a very, very powerful training, and I was like, yo, I need to absorb this information and give it back to the team, because to know and not teach, I mean, it's very, very selfish. If I have access to information that can help me have multiple breakthroughs, and I'm not sharing it with you guys or sharing it with anybody else, that's incredibly selfish of me. And here we're about impact, not even the income. We're about impact over income. So sharing and teaching and sharing the gems and wisdom to everybody else is super, super important. This is exactly what I've discovered last week. Okay, the secrets of the money player. So before I dive in, I just want to touch upon something called sacrifice. That's the biggest price. And I'm going to speak a little bit slow. I get so fired up when I'm speaking, and I start speaking very fast, but I'm going to try and speak slowly. Okay, but the biggest price you can pay for success, and success can mean anything to you. Maybe it means leaving a job. Maybe it means losing 10 pounds or 10 kilos. I don't know. Maybe it's becoming a 6-figure earner or a 7-figure earner. Maybe it's buying your own dream home. Success is different. What it means to me is different to you. But the one thing is for sure, success is a moving object. Let's just say my goal is to become a 7-figure earner, and now I'm a 7-figure earner. Am I going to stop? No, because if you're not growing, you're going to decline. You're dying. It's the law of gravity. So sacrifice. The biggest price for success is sacrifice. You got to sacrifice for what you want. All right. If you don't, what you want will then become the sacrifice. I'm going to repeat that one more time because I know that it went over your head. If you don't sacrifice for what you want is then going to become the sacrifice. Okay. Understand one thing. We're in a journey here. Right, a journey from the old you to the new you. The new you has a better lifestyle, better bank balance, better mindset, more clarity, better posture, whatever. I don't know what your new you, your ideal alter ego, new version of yourself is, the new version of Ibrahim, the new version of Kareem, new version of Carmen. I don't know. You know that. But this is your ulterior, your alter ego, someone that you're aspiring to be. We can understand one thing. If you're someone who's thinking, well, there's nothing wrong with me, I don't need to change, but I'm going to continue, I'm going to work on my goals, but I don't need to change, I'm perfect. Well, if that was the case, then you would have already had the results that you want. If that was the case, and you're freaking amazing, and I'm sure you are, but if you're perfect and there's no room for change, then you would have already had the results that you want, that you desire. If you want different, you got to be different and do different. So in this journey from the old you to the new you, right, you're literally giving birth, right? Put a 111 in the chat. I think there might be just one person here, but put a 111 in the chat for the ladies out there. If you've ever physically given birth, if you've ever had a baby before, put a 111 if you've given birth. I don't know. I've never had a baby, but I know that, okay, Isaiah, you got a baby? No, as in physically give birth. Isaiah, I'm not sure. Okay, I don't want to ask. I wasn't expecting that, but put a 111 if you have physically given birth, because it's a pain. I mean, hey, I'm not giving birth, but I know it's a painful experience. It's painful. Some women lose their life whilst giving birth. It's painful, mentally, physically. It's 9 months of crazy, it's hardship. But the outcome is you've just given birth to something, and that's exactly what we're doing here, family. You are giving birth to new you. So understand that there's going to be a sacrifice has to be made. Sacrifice has to be made, right? So, and the old version of you has to die. The old version of you has to die so that the new version is born. You got to rip yourself apart from the old version and give birth to the new version, right? The new version of yourself. Okay. So that deep, and the reason why I'm talking about this, because I want you to kind of Become aware and expect the fact that in this journey to success or financial freedom or to achieve your desired goals, dreams, desired lifestyle, our journeys are different because our goals are different, but we're in the same journey, right? There's going to be a lot of crisis. And I really hope you're taking notes, family. There's going to be a lot of crisis in this journey. To be honest, there'll be more crisis than success. I'm going to tell you straight up right now. There's going to be more crisis than success. At least within the first 3 to 5 years. And I'm not saying after 5 years, everything's all hunky-dory. There's going to be problems, but there's going to be much more crisis and then success in the first 3 to 5 years because it's your honeymoon period. You're just trying it out. You're new. It's like your first 3 to 5 years of life. You stumble. You're not walking properly. You're not talking properly. That's just literally how it is. And that's why I want to talk about the secrets of the money player. The secrets of the money player, because that's exactly what I will be talking about today. Even deeper is how to properly deal with a crisis. So when I was on this training last week with the Chairman 25, and he was talking about the secrets of the money player, when I first heard it, I was like, I thought he was talking about monopoly. I thought it was going to be a little bit much more about how to invest. Money player, I was thinking, what is a money player? The money player, write this down. The money player is not about what you inherit. It's not about what you inherit. Quite surprisingly, the money player is it's about, if you're a money player, it's about how you deal with the crisis. How are you dealing with the crisis that you are going through right now? Okay, so I got some notes as well that I'm be reading off as well. But hey, it's based on how you react to a crisis. Like I say, in the journey from the old you to new you, there's going to be a lot of crisis. We can't dodge that. We can't dodge the crisis. Most people are either in a crisis right now, they've come out of a crisis, or they're about to head into a crisis. I've come out of a crisis. Like, I don't know if I should call it a crisis, but hey, I just come out of a crisis. And I know there's another one coming soon, but hey, that's just life. Accept that and not acknowledge that. And most people are either in a crisis right now as we speak. Maybe you're about to lose your job. You've just been evicted. Family's left. I don't know what's going on, right? Maybe your car's been broken or whatever. You've got the money to or stranded in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. But most people, you're either in a crisis right now, or you've just come out of a crisis like myself, thank goodness, or you are about to enter a crisis. And there's no dodging, family. So number one, accept that. Because the minute you accept that, it takes stress away from you. It takes stress away from you. Let me give you an example. Let's just say you want to, you're from London to Manchester. There's one route. I'm just saying, example, right? There's one route from London to Manchester. Now, you're someone who hate car journeys, but there's no trains around. So you have no choice but to get in the car. The one route from London to Manchester is very long. There's a lot of obstruction. There's a lot of road work. There's a lot of construction going on. There's a lot of problems, right? And a lot of traffic. You get car sick. And you understand that, okay, cool. Every time I go to Manchester, it's the same problem. But once you accept the fact that, okay, cool, this is the only route from London to Manchester, there's no getting away around it, there's no way around it, you're not stressed out every single time. You might be a bit fed up. Okay, cool. This is it. Here we go. You might get fed up, yes, but you're not adding stress unnecessarily to yourself. Because while you're aware of it, it's like when you go to a job and you're like, oh, I have to see my manager's face. Maybe, I don't know, but if you're aware of it, you're not adding stress. You're just kind of, okay, cool, this is part of the process. I hope that makes sense. So, in the so yeah, the most important thing is, and I think it was a Beep who put this in the chat yesterday, just be present. Okay, how you react to crisis is really what makes you or breaks you. How you react to the crisis that you're going to go through, or that you are in, or that you've been in, because there's no dodging the crisis. Step one, acknowledge that, accept that. There's no dodging the crisis, okay? But how you react to it, let's just say, hey, if you react to a crisis properly, reacting to a crisis properly will give you the skills that you don't usually have. Reacting to a crisis properly is going to give you skills that you don't usually have. For example, it's going to give you wisdom, power, more control. It's building your character. And those skill sets that you got from reacting properly to the crisis, it stays with you for life. Now you've dealt with this certain situation, you can go ahead and deal with whatever crap that comes next. You're like, yo, okay, cool, I've dealt with this, what's next? So if you react, I want you to kind of highlight this in your notes, put a bubble around it, put it in bold water, because this is important. This is important. If you react properly to a crisis, it will give you strength, wisdom, and power that you don't usually have. It will elevate you to a whole new different level, a whole new different upgraded version, all right? However, if you reacting improperly to a crisis is going to rob you. It's going to rob you of the skills that you already have. It's going to rob you of the control that you have and the ability that you had. It's going to rob you of what you have. So how you deal with a crisis, it will either make you or break you. Are you reacting or are you responding? There's a big difference here. Are you reacting to a crisis or responding to a crisis? Because if you're reacting to a crisis, you're moving out of emotion. You're moving out of emotion, out of impulse. And you end up doing things that you don't normally do. Let's just say, I don't know, you're about to go homeless, you're about to lose your job, your family's left a job, you're about to go for a divorce, a sticky divorce, your son left their job, everything just hits you one after another at the same time. And if you're reacting emotionally, this is maybe, you're someone who's just, you get anxious, you get anxiety, you start crying yourself to sleep, you're getting drunk, you choose to deal with it with alcohol or some sort of substance abuse, or just get wasted every night or run away from your problem. This is you being emotional, and that's going to make the situation even worse. That's if you're reacting. Because understand, reacting or reaction is emotional. If you're reacting to a crisis, 100%, let me appreciate you being transparent. If you're reacting to a crisis, that's you being emotional, and that's the wrong way to deal with it. But you've got to respond. See, if it's reaction versus response. If you're responding to a crisis, you're being logical. You're thinking with logic. Okay, wow, I've got a problem right now. Well, the situation. See, I don't even like to use the P word. I don't like to say problem, because I feel like I'm focusing on that. I'm going to attract more of that. It's just, I like to call it a situation, not even a challenge. I like to use the word situation. Okay, I'm in a situation right now. This is it. So number one, I've acknowledged the situation I'm in. The second step is, okay, what's the solution? I've got option A, B, C. I would go ahead and reflect, get my whiteboard out, go for a walk, go for a run, get my journal. But I'm thinking about the next step. I'm thinking with logic and not emotion. Right? So are you responding? I really ask yourself this every time you're in a situation or in a crisis. Am I reacting or am I responding? Because there is a massive difference. There's a massive difference. And how you react to a crisis, it will either make you or break you, family. And I want to go over this one more time. If you react, I really hope you write this down. If you react to a crisis properly, it's going to give you strength, power, wisdom, and skills that you don't usually have. But if you react improperly to a crisis, it's going to rob you of what you already have. It's going to rob you of the skills that you already have. It's breaking your character. The PD, the personal development, everything that you've gone through, the books, the audio, the podcast, everything that you've gone through right now, and that's built you up to where you are at this given point, it's going to be broken like Jenga, like a ton of bricks. Like take one brick out, everything just topples down. If you react improperly, it's going to rob you of the skill set that you already have. It's going to rob you of control and the ability. So the most important thing is, family, is being present. Being and learning. This takes a lot of gut to be present in the situation. If you're in a crisis, be present. Be present. And I think it was Labib, shout out to Labib who dropped this in the chat yesterday, and he was like, it was a quote, something about not being, forget about the past, forget tomorrow, we don't know, it's not promised, but all we have right now is the present. The present. And the present is the present. The present is the present. It's the gift. So take advantage of it. So stay present within the crisis that you're in, right? So the money player, what is the money player does? The money player is someone who comes in through the clutch. Okay, see, like I said, you're gonna face more crisis than success in your journey. You'll face more crisis than success in your journey, especially in the first 3 to 5 years. But how you deal with it really, will either make you or break you. So I'm gonna give you 3 things to write down. 3 things that you need to do in order to perform well in a crisis. It's a little bit like martial fire training or whatever you call it, right? You know how you have those fire drills, and why is it that firefighters, when there's no fire, what are they doing? Just sitting there having tea? No, they're practicing drill. So that when a real crisis comes, when there's a real emergency, they're like, yo, they know it's all automated. They're on autopilot. There's no time to feel anything. There's no time for emotions because of the practice, the drills, the martial firearm training that they've been doing. I don't know what you call it, but that's exactly how it is now. And I'm going to give you the 3 things. I really hope you're writing this down. The 3 things that you need to do to be able to perform well in a crisis. Now that we know we can't dodge the crisis, going forward, we need to learn how we can perform well in a crisis, because believe you me, there's going to be hiccups, obstacles, turbos, tornadoes, a lot of crazy stuff, but they're building your character. It's building you. If a situation in your life is not building your bank balance, if it's not building a business, if it's not adding to your income, but it's adding to your character, it's building you up as a character. It's character building. Okay, I want you to remember that. So the first thing that you are going to do is learn certain skill sets. Learn certain skill sets under conditions where we will not be over-motivated. I want to repeat that one more time and I'll explain what I mean. Number 1, the first thing you're going to do is learn certain skills under conditions where we are not over-motivated. For example, practicing under pressure. It's like, in other words, practicing that you're in a crisis. It's like the fire drill. I think that's a perfect example I can give. The fire drill example. And I remember when I was in school, in college, I think at work a few times, we had a fire drill practice. There's no fire. But we need to be able to understand, hey, how can I react in a crisis? How can I react in a crisis? When it really comes. Because then there's no time to practice. Have to deal with it there and then when the real thing is here, right? So, number 1 is all about, hey, practicing these things. For example, practicing to be, resilient. Being able to still be consistent even during the tough times. Being consistent even during the tough times, family. This is where a lot of people F up. Because if a crisis arises, they're like, okay, cool, I'm out. Like, don't talk to me. I'm off social media. I'm going to go ghosting. I'm going to go AWOL. No one talk to me. Halas. No. You're making it worse. Be consistent. Do more. Be consistent. There were times a year ago, whilst I was in this business and I had no home to go to, I was away from home. I was pretty much homeless. I was living from hotel to hotel, £40 a night. I didn't know where I was staying the night. I was spending the day in a train station, so I can connect to the internet. And that was like one of the most toughest point in my life. Yet I was still plugging into group chat, attending. I never missed a call because I know I needed this more than anything. I never missed a training or a chairman call. I know it's going to help me. I don't know whether I'm going to stay that night, but I still showing up to training calls, showing up to go live, placing trades here and there, like being active in the chat, building the business, speaking to my team members, launching or making sure things are being done in my business whilst I have my personal crisis going on behind me. So being consistent during the tough time is very important. You've got to be resilient. This is the most important one, family. You have to be able to go through from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. You have to have the ability to go through failure to failure without losing the enthusiasm that you first had when things were going good. Why is it when business is booming, your trades are going really well, life is good, your spouse is making you happy, you're so motivated, you got a lot of enthusiasm, but what happens to that enthusiasm when business is not doing so well, when trades are not going too well, when you and your partner keep bickering and you're getting on each other's nerves? Why do you lose that enthusiasm? Because you have control over the enthusiasm. You can still choose to be enthusiastic, family. I'll tell you one thing, and it's not to brag or boast, but you will never know what the kind of battles I'm dealing with every single day. You will never know the kind of demons I'm fighting every single day. Why? Because, hey, every call I jump on, every freeway call that I do, every training that I jump on, I'm giving my 150% energy. Nothing less. Not even 144%, no, 150% every single time, because my energy is my identity. My enthusiasm is my identity. Who's Nadia? Is she, does she have energy or is she slow? 100% she's got energy. That's Nadia. That's my identity. So being able to still go through the failures, go through the turbulences without losing your enthusiasm, that's powerful. And it's important, okay? One more, and this is what kind of makes you deserving. This is what makes you deserving of the things that you want, the things that you truly desire. If you're able to go through the tough times, then you're 100% deserving. Otherwise, if you're someone who's praying for the good things in life, but the moment adversity hits and you're out, you're not deserving. I'm sorry to say, but you're not deserving because you don't want it badly enough. Okay? Now, a lot of people have something called SOS. SOS. This stands for Shiny Object Syndrome. And it's so easy now. Hey, I'm kind of guilty of this because I was tempted to look outside the company a few times, but I realized it was the devil speaking to me. The devil will hit you at your lowest point. Shiny Object Syndrome. What that means is, let's just say you're in a situation where, hey, trade's not going too well, or business is not doing well. Oh, look, that company's doing really well. Oh, look, that company's doing really well. Let me see. Maybe I'm better off there. No, the grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is green where you water it. Yes, maybe you might leave another platform and go to another platform or another team. It's going to feel nice and warm and fuzzy at the beginning, but because you're the same person, it's going to follow through. The inconsistency, the lack of results, the same problems you had in the previous platform or company or ship that you were in, it's going to follow through. Why? Because you're the same person. You're the same person. So the grass is not green on the other side. SOS is for amateurs. Stick and stay in the ship. Stay 10 toes down. Keep watering the grass. Keep watering. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, the second thing you need to do is learn how to deal with the crisis with an aggressive attitude, as opposed to being defensive. Number two is learning how to deal with the crisis with an aggressive attitude, as opposed to being defensive. What I mean by aggressive is not beat the shit out of someone, right? In my language, but aggressive. Do more PD. Pray more. Work out more. Be more grateful. Journal more. Do the stuff that you're doing more. Because average people and most people in this world, when it comes to, problems that they're facing, they just back out. They go defensive. They go in a cocoon. No one talks to me. 100% Nabi. Go harder than ever in a nutshell. Yeah, pretty much Nabi. Go harder. Do more. Be aggressive with the work ethic. Do more. Because if you're defensive and your guards are up and you're in a cocoon, hey, that's you're going to go backwards 10 steps. So number two, learn how to deal with a crisis with an aggressive attitude rather than being defensive. So do more PD. Wake up earlier. Pray more. Be more grateful. I remember when I was going through that dark phase in my life this time last year, and had a lot of personal problems, business-wise as well. It was declining. Like, hey, my mentor was leaving me. I don't know what was going on. It was like crazy. But the one thing I never stopped doing, the one thing that helped me go through was journaling. Grateful gratitude. Hey, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a German 10. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have this. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm giving 5K a month to my mom. I'm so happy and grateful that I was like, hey, you can call me crazy, but crazy people make crazy money. Do the crazy stuff. Do the corny shit. Do it, right? So do more of what you are already doing, okay? Now, number three, learn to evaluate your perspective of the crisis. Number three, learn to evaluate your perspective of the crisis. How are you looking at it? How are you looking at it? See, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at changes. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at changes. I might see a chocolate here, and I'm like, oh, I need this right now. I need that quick pick me up. I need that. I love chocolate. I'm like, yo, I need this piece of chocolate. Carmen on the other side, she'd be like, yo, this is a lot of processed stuff. There's a lot of sugar in that. There's a lot of palm oil. It's going to give me a bit of cholesterol. Yeah, it's going to harm my life and shorten my lifespan. I don't want to have that. It's a one piece of chocolate, but me and Carmen, we're seeing it in two different ways. It's the same thing. But how we look at it is the lens, right? So when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So what I want, if you look at the crisis that you're going through right now, if you look at the crisis as you're going through it, it becomes your reality. If you're looking at the crisis that you're in right now, as you're going through it, and you're like, oh my God, this is it, then that becomes your reality. And you're like, and you're honestly going to put yourself in some sort of trauma, because you're going to think, oh my God, there's no way out, there's no escape, this is it, game over, why me, God? You're going to have the victim mindset if you think this is your reality. However, if you understand, you look at this as something that's going to make you better and stronger, then it doesn't pull you down. It does not pull you down. When you look at the crisis that you're in right now, and this changed everything for me. Every single time I'm in a situation or in a crisis, and I'm like, okay, what can I learn from this? This is temporary. It's just a level of the game. It's like level 47. It's a level. What can I learn from this? What can I do? This is trying to teach me something. This is going to make me much better, because clearly I'm not good enough. This is going to make me much better. It's going to help me elevate. What can I learn from this? That's the difference. If you see the crisis that you're in right now as something that you're going through, it becomes your reality. And that's a dark place to be in, family. However, if you begin to look at your crisis like, yo, okay, this is just a level. This is level 25. This is, you know how games have levels and movies have different episodes, scenes, sorry. This is the climax, the problem scene, the bank robbery, the murder scene. This is the part where the problems evolve. But then there's it's temporary. See the crisis as how it's something that's going to help you grow. It's like I don't know, yeah, it's like something that's going to help you grow better, basically, right? Grow and become much better and much more stronger. It's not going to pull you down. You're still going to be able to be positive, have the positive outlook, not lose the enthusiasm. So if you focus on the problems grow. But if you acknowledge the problem, but now I'm focusing on the solutions are growing. If you feel like you're going, you're kind of going through hell right now, then keep going. Why would you stay in hell? You're going to get burnt, right? Why would you stay in hell? Why would you stop in hell, right? Keep going, right? If you're going through hell right now, keep going, okay? Because, hey, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. You got to keep moving, keep running, okay? So family, that wraps up our session. I like to keep our trainings pretty short, so that because just short and give you the gem that you need, so you can go ahead, apply it, and run with it, right? So family, I really appreciate each and every single one of you. This is recorded and will be on the YouTube channel, so go back, watch it, take notes. You might pick up something different than you picked up today, so definitely go back and revise it. I hope you guys got some value, and I'm freaking excited, man. I'm very, very excited for what's to come and what we can do together, right? There's a lot of crazy things happening right now, and it's just about, hey, stay focused, move with urgency and love, and just put the work in. Now is not the time for you to tap out and take your foot off the brake, because how you end 2022 determines how the first 6 months of 2022 is going to look like. Sorry, how you end 2021, I'm already in the future. How you end 2021 will determine how the first 6 months of 2022 is going to look like. Okay, let's go hard, let's go even deeper, right? Because we deserve it. We deserve to be a freaking multi-millionaire. We deserve all the success in the world and all the money, because we deserve it. It's our birthright, right? It's our birthright. So God, I pray to God for the success of every single person on this call, and whoever's watching this, right? More success to us, more wealth, more love, more abundance to us. I'm excited, right? So guys, let's go back. If you got some value, what I want to see is go back in the group chat and drop in one thing that you've learned, at least one thing that you learned and picked up from this call. I would highly appreciate that. Go ahead and tag me on Instagram as well. It's Coach Milani _ and yeah, let's go, man. Let's rock this. Let's crush this week. Let's conquer and make a whole lot of money, man. Love you guys. Let's go.